thanks for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous here, enjoying the weather here in San Jose, California. Beautiful, beautiful California. And I wanted to just tell you guys about my experience dealing with the Harley-Davidson dealership, San Jose, in particular, San Jose Harley-Davidson. So this is right after the ownership change. This is right after the ownership change of Lane Splitter, San Jose. I've been going there regularly, just, you know, trying to see if I could buy a bike. Like I mentioned in another video, 2018 Softails. Very interested in purchasing one of those Softails, but I wanted to wait for this one, the Lowrider S, and I'm glad I waited for it. But let's get back to my experience at San Jose Harley. What happened was I showed up right around, I believe, what September or October, when these bikes were announced, the Lowrider S. So I showed up there. They had a few in stock, maybe 2 or 3. At the time, you couldn't find these bikes. Everybody was sold out. All the other dealerships around the Bay Area, House of Thunder, Mission, Harley, that's San Francisco, and Livermore. I mean, everybody was sold out on these bikes. So I kind of just showed up unannounced, San Jose, and they had just recently gotten one off the truck. So since I was there, they were willing to bypass everybody else who had deposits, which supposedly were 6 of them, and they were willing to sell me the bike, you know, skip everybody else, because I was there supposedly, you know, trying to make me feel good about buying the bike and how valuable it was. And, you know, just, you know, it's their job to feed you all this bullshit. And what happened was, I sat down with them, spoke to them, started negotiating, and they wanted to sell me the bike $3,000 over MSRP. That's right. So out the door, I was looking at $24,000 for the bike. $24,000 out the door. And I said, fuck that. No. I told them, like, hey, I want to pay what Harley-Davidson believes it's worth. I don't want to be paying $3,000 more than what it's worth. Why? And then they started telling me, well, you know what, these bikes are hot. You know, there's nobody has these bikes. Nobody has them in stock. I'm like, okay, I don't care if I'm the first one or the last one to own the bike. I just want the bike. I don't want to be paying $3,000, $24,000 for a $19,000 bike. Why? So then I had to walk away. You know, I'm trying to make this story a little bit shorter, but I walked away because they refused to negotiate with me. They wanted me to pay $3,000 over MSRP, and I refused. So I told them, you know what, I'm not going to be doing that. And then I told them specifically, you know what, I'm just gonna let the hype die down, and then I'll be back. So respect to them. They didn't call me or bug me or anything like that. I went back. So after discussing with Livermore, Harley-Davidson, House of Thunder, every dealership was asking the same amount, even with me not even negotiating, or, you know, them just giving me out the door over online. They were giving me an out the door price over online, and it was the same price as San Jose. So I was like, what's going on with that? You know, I'm walking into your dealership, and I'm there for about 2-3 hours trying to get a good price, and I don't even have to walk into Livermore or House of Thunder, and they're giving me the exact same price that you're giving me. So then they tell me, you know what, guess what, we're at the end of the month, we need to sell 3 more bikes to hit our goal, so we want you to come in, and we're gonna give you one hell of a deal. You know what, I've been dying to get this bike, waited about 3-4 years for this bike. So you know what, I was ready to pull the trigger on the bike, and I went back. Same guy was there, and at this time now, he was the supervisor or the sales manager or the manager assistant. So at this time, he's still there. He passes me off to somebody else. So then I'm talking to this other sales guy. His name's Ro at San Jose Harley, and he's a pretty cool guy. He had actually just started, and he was just telling me how different it was from his dealership and the dealership he's working at now at San Jose. But you know what? Let's just bypass that, because this is going to be a whole lot longer than it should be. So I go back, second or third time to renegotiate the bike, and this time they promised me $1,000 off. But honestly, that $1,000 off, it's not off of the MSRP. That $1,000 is just off of the off of what they're trying to sell it for, their add-on markup. So then I go, okay, $1,000. I still don't want to pay that much. I still don't want to pay that much, you know, because then I'll be paying, I believe, $1,000 over MSRP, or, you know, close to $2,000. So then they see me kind of like, man, you guys do not want to sell this bike. And then that was the first thing I told them the first time, like, you guys don't want to sell this bike, do you? And they go, all right, you know what, we'll give you that $2,500 for your trade-in, but we're gonna sell you the bike for this amount. And then they added that $1,000 back onto the lowrider S. So then I kind of went like, well, it doesn't really matter, because if you're giving me $1,000 off on the bike to come in, because you guys are trying to supposedly sell your guys' quota of bikes sold, and you guys are putting that $1,000 back on, and you guys are giving me $1,000 for my trade-in, then it's you know, it's nothing. There's nothing there. You guys are just moving the numbers around. And then, you know what, I've worked at a dealership for about 5 years, so I know all the little tricks, and that's what happened. But this part of the $1,000 comes back towards the end. And so what happened was, me and the sales assistant manager, we were still negotiating. I was there for about maybe 5 hours, you know, back and forth. They didn't want to budge, I didn't want to budge, but the whole time, and they asked me too, so what's your, because you know, I was there for about 3 hours at a time, and they told me, what's the price that we got to give you so you can take this bike home? And I told them straight up, I don't want to pay no more than $20,000 out the door. And that's the way I said it. I said out the door. Now this leads in towards the end of the story. So I tell them I don't want to pay more than $20,000 out the door. And they go, you know what? Okay, let me go back to the manager. So, you know, they play this waiting game. And they already have a number, of course, because like I said, I used to work at a dealership for about 5 years. And they already have a number of what they want to pay. Of what they want to sell it for. So, a waiting game, they come back with me at $20,600. Okay, they come back to me with $20,600, and I tell them again, it's like, dude, I told you guys, I told you I don't want to pay no more than $20,000 out the door. Said it again. Told the sales manager, I told them I don't want to pay more than $20,000. That's it. That's my price, or I walk out. I leave again. I walk out, and that's how I told them. I told them, you know what? You either sell me the bike for the price I want, or I walk out and I'll come back 3 months later. And that's the way I told them too. And they were like, no, let's not do that. We're gonna get you your bike. So then the sales guy goes back to the manager, comes back at me after about 30-40 minutes. And this time he comes back with $20,300. And I see that, and you know, like me, I was kind of like, you know what? That's pretty close to my number. I didn't want to pay $20,000. I mean, over $20,000, but you know what? At this time, you know, five hours later, I just didn't want to be there anymore. And they come back with the number on the paper, boom, on the contract that they want me to sign. They say, okay, look at this. You're saying $20,000 out the door, but here's this number, $20,300. So from $20,600, and I figured, you know what, from $24,000 all the way down to $20,000, you know, I was able to negotiate $3,000 off the bike from markup, what they had for markup. So finally I signed the paper. I go, all right, I could live with this $300 more than what I wanted to pay out the door. I guess, you know, it is what it is, and you know what, I want the bike already. I'm done negotiating. I'm done waiting. Been waiting 3 years for this bike, and I'm ready to pull the trigger on this. So then If you see my other video, the walk around video, then you already know what happened next. They took me out. Quick recap of that other video. They walked me around. They wanted me to get to know the dealership. BS. They're trying to sell you more stuff, okay? Finishing with my walk around, the guide of the dealership, the let's get to know you part. I go in and start talking to Omar, the finance guy. So the finance guy, of course, he tries to hit you up with a little bit of gravy for the dealership. Of course, they're trying to butter you up. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about that whole situation. The video's already too long. But so, anyways, I'm looking at the paperwork and I'm paying attention, and I see the price on the bike. I see the price on the bike, and I saw it was like it was $19,000 and $19,000 and I believe about $937 something dollars. So I look at that and I grab the paperwork from the finance guy, and I go, huh, that's bizarre. Like, and he goes, what's the problem? I go, how you guys supposed to make the tax fit with a bike at $19,900 and something? There's no room here for taxes, because I know, you know, here in California, it's a lot of money for taxes. It's 9.75, I believe, 9.25 sales tax in California. For vehicles, I believe it's 8%. And the guy laughs at me. Omar, the finance guy, he laughs at me and he goes, what do you think? I could give you a discount on tax, bro? No, I can't give you a discount on tax. Tax is tax. Everybody's got to pay that. So he attacked me as soon as I had mentioned the tax. So I was kind of like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? You know, I was like, okay, calm down. And I go, and then he kind of like looks at my face, and he's like I said after, he tells me, bro, everybody's supposed to pay it. Everybody's supposed to pay taxes, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Making me supposedly look like the idiot. And I tell him, no. The bike was promised to me at $20,000 out the door. $20,000 out the door. That's what the bike was promised me, and that's what I had signed. So then he just kind of storms out of the office, because longer story short, he had already tried selling me the legendary package, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 worth of warranties, coverages, and bumper to bumper, and all this other crap, which is a scam. He had already tried it, and when I saw that number, I wasn't paying attention to him, because I was just so upset about what they're trying to pull off. So then he stops again, because he had already put the paperwork in front of me, put the packages, and he wanted me to kind of pick one. And I was just blanked out, wasn't paying attention to him. He's pitching me this 20-30 minute pitch of coverages and all this other stuff, and I'm still thinking about, man, these guys are really trying to fuck me over. So then he kind of stops and he's like, bro, I'm talking to you, what's going on? And I told him, I'm telling you right now, the bike was promised to me for $20,000, and you guys are trying to fuck me. That's the way I told him. So then he storms out of the office. He grabs the manager. So it's the manager, the supervisor, the other assistant sales manager, and then it's the sales guy that I was talking to. So at this time now, it's about 5 people in the room with me. And so then they go back in there with the paperwork, the contract that I had already signed. They go, okay, what's going on here? I don't get, because I guess it happens a lot. People try to renegotiate once they're on the sales floor. The finance guy does not want to be dealing with the number of the bike. That's supposed to be done and over with. So the finance guy, like I mentioned, he thinks I'm still trying to cut a deal when I had already signed. So he brings everybody in, and he's pretty much, look, this is what you signed for, right? I'm like, yes, but I was told this was out the door. And guess what was on the paper? The one that I signed, $20,300, right? Remember I signed that paper? The manager goes, okay, here's the paper. And yeah, that's the one I signed, $20,300. That's exactly what I wanted to pay out the door. And they go, whoa, big fella, calm down. Where does it say out the door? And then that's when I knew, oh, you motherfuckers, this is how you want to play it, huh? And then I look over to the sales guy. I'm like, bro, you remember our whole conversations ever since I walked in here? What was it that I said? And he was quiet. He didn't really want to say anything. Did I or did I not say out the door 20,000? Did I or did I not say? Did I say 20,000 before taxes? No. So then he kind of looks, and like I said, he had just started working there, so he kind of looks around, and he goes, yes, that is what you said. And at that time, the manager, the sales assistant manager, the guy that brought me over the paperwork, he was already out of the room, so he was done with it. He didn't want to be there when they were gonna question him about the so what's going on with this out the door thing. And that's where supposedly they got me. That was the point where I kind of said, oh, all right. So just because the out the door wasn't written on the paper, but it was discussed. We had discussed out the door $20,000 the whole time. The whole time I was dealing with them, $20,000. He comes out, I signed the paperwork, $20,300, and they believe, you know, I'm backing off my deal. You know what? I'm a man, and as Tony Montana said, I don't break my balls or my word for nobody. And that's what happened when I was kind of like in that situation. I was like, dude, I'm not backing off the deal. They go, okay, because they know the sales guy, he did say, you know what, that's what we were talking, that's what we had been discussing, $20,000 out the door. So then they go, okay, all right, you know what, we're gonna work out a deal for you. We're gonna take off $700. It should have been $1,000. They go, all right, we're gonna take off $700 off the bike, and we're gonna give you a discount on the legendary package. So then the manager, the sales manager, the sales assistant manager, and the sales guy, they leave the office again. So they leave the office. So then we went back. So he went back to pitching me the legendary package. So instead of selling it to me for about $6,000, he was going to give it to me for $5,000. So then in my head, I'm like, okay, you're going to give me $700 off. You're gonna give me $700 off the bike just so I could buy $6,000 worth of coverages that's pretty much useless, because I know I worked at the dealer for about 5 years. And I tell him, you know what, bro, you know, I didn't say bro, but he's like, you know what, Omar, I just want the bike. And then supposedly the understanding that we all had, our understanding was, you know what, I was gonna get those extra $700 off if I was gonna buy the legendary package. So why am I, if I'm complaining over $1,000, why am I gonna pay an extra $6,000 on crap I don't want? So then the finance guy, he storms out of the office once again. He throws his pen and he storms out of the office. And this was after he had to re-paperwork everything. He had to do all the paperwork once again. He had to redo it. But that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my problem. But I'm telling you, man, at this time I was already getting up here with this dealership. He storms out of the office. He tries to bring back the managers. He's like, all right. And the way he did it too, he was like, oh, you just want the bike? I'm like, yeah. It's a brand new bike. You don't care about your bike? It's a brand new bike. I'm like, I know it. And for that reason, if it's a brand new bike, I shouldn't have any issues with it, right? So then he goes, hold on. He grabs his pen, throws it down. He gets up from his desk, and then he storms out of the office, goes back back over. He's like, hold on, I gotta go get the manager again. So then he goes back. This time, nobody walks in. Nobody walked in, not the manager, not the assistant manager, nobody walked in. So at this time, I'm guessing they just told him, just sell him the bike, get him out of here. He's been a pain in the rear end. Just get him out of here. Or I don't know what happened. But right after, once he came back from that, he didn't say a word to me. And we were pretty much finished talking. They had the bike ready for me to kind of take a picture and do all that stupid crap, ring the bell, that kind of stuff. At the end, we had to redo all the paperwork. re-sign and everything, and in the end I ended up paying close to a little bit over $21,000 out the door. So I guess they still got me in a way. I still had to pay more than I wanted to, but that's the way it works. You guys just have to be careful on how you negotiate that paper, and you know what, and if they have that paper in front of you, a final price, here, sign this and we're going to get you on your bike, you know, and if there's no out the door on that paper, you got to make sure OTD is on that paper before you move on to the next phase. But you know what, I was able to get an extra $700. Should have been more, like I said, but this video is already too long. That's my experience with San Jose Harley-Davidson. But thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And if you guys have any stories kind of like mine dealing with the dealership, you guys go ahead and leave your comments down below. Share your story, share your experience, and let these other potential Harley riders, you know, give them a heads up. So later.